Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my dear viewers, and welcome to another live talk with Global Education and Training Institute. And today we have with us Ms. Shikha Tripathi, principal at State MR Priya School, Gonda, contributing in the field of education from past 12 years, a passionate educator. She completed her Leadership and Change Management course from IIM Raipur and has presented many workshops and seminars in many renowned schools. She was also invited as a speaker in World Education Summit of Digital Learning Platform. She was also elected as the national level at the national level in National Children's Science Congress and was also awarded for Achieves Award for introducing new methods of teaching at CMS Lucknow. And today she has joined us to talk about teacher to technology, the edge of change. I think we all are talking about this from past so many months. 2020 was all about technology. And today she will be discussing in detail about the same. So without much ado, I would request ma'am to please take over the session. A very warm welcome once again on this platform of GETI. And my dear viewers, if you have any questions, anything to ask, please post it in the comments section. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Miss Preena. First of all, thanks to Mrs. Gandhi and entire team of GETI, and once again, thanks to Preena for giving me this opportunity so that I can share my views how we have evolved from teaching to technology. I'm not saying that teaching or teacher is not, playing any role when technology has come up after the pandemic. But yes, we have seen a transformation from teaching to technology, and this is the edge of change. We are having so many takeaways from 2020, and we are still learning. We have explored a lot, we have enhanced a lot, we have learned a lot, but still we are in the learning process, and we will see how this has been done, how this transformation has been done after the pandemic. So in the face of adversity, we have a choice. Either we can be bitter or we can be better. So it's up to us when there are problems, when there are difficulties, how we are behaving, how we are reacting, how we are responding to those situations. So it is up to us that how we are responding to the situation, how we are reacting. Suppose we cannot stop rain to come, but yes, we can have an umbrella to protect ourselves. So it is up to us that how we are reacting to the adversity, that we can be bitter or we can be better. I will give you an example of a cup. Let's suppose we are holding a cup. Suppose I'm holding a cup of coffee and someone comes and bumps into me. What will happen? The coffee will spill out. Why the coffee will spill out? Suppose the cup, if cup has tea, the tea will spill out. If the cup has water, the water will spill out. The point is, whatever is inside the cup, that will spill out. So same goes with us also. When life shakes us, when there are difficulties, when there are problems, when there is pandemic, so what happens? Whatever is inside us, that comes out. So we need to have love, we need to have affection, integrity, honesty, friendship inside us, so that during the time of difficulties, during the time of problems or pandemic, as we had experience in 2020, then what comes out in the form of courage, in the form of confidence. So that is important, that what we are having inside, what we are having in our cup, so that we are well prepared for the situation, um, like pandemic or any problem in the future when it comes. So how well we are responding to that, how well we are reacting to that. So disaster is a laboratory for innovation. We all know that until and unless the pandemic was not there, we were not exploring ourselves, we were not learning, we were not enhancing or activating the things which we're supposed to do. But yes, after the pandemic was here, after the disaster was here, we had learnt a lot. We had explored ourselves. So this is the reason disaster is called as a laboratory of innovation. COVID-19 pandemic has affected almost all schools, almost all sectors, and education is not an exception in that case. Perhaps it is the most affected sector and most important one, with not just short but very long term consequences as well. It is having long term consequences, it is having long term bad effects of the pandemic towards education sector, and we are experiencing this since 8 to 9 months. So, however, technology seems to be the element connecting teachers with the students and parents as well. We have learned a lot from the entire year 2020, when it was a paradigm shift from teaching to technology. But yes, teacher is really playing a very important, vital role. Believe me, COVID will prove a tipping point after which schools will be pushed towards a digital transformation, will be pushed towards a digital education. And this is how teacher will completely transformed into technology. And this happened. That teacher was transformed into technology. I will tell you, as most of you know about Darwin. So he was a scientist. He has given a theory, survival of the fittest. What does this mean? Survival of the fittest means the one who will be fit will survive at the time of difficulties, at the time of evolution or any change. When there is any change happening, a huge change, then what happens? The one who is fit will survive. And if we are, considering education sector, the one who will be computer savvy, who will be technology savvy, who will be handling well the digital education, will be sustaining, will be existing in the present world. And the teacher who will be not knowing about this digital education will be replaced by the teacher who is knowing about all these things, who is loving this. And I would say, believe me, it's hats off to all the teachers or mentors around the globe who had worked 24 into 7 for the children's sake, for their studies. And they are trying their level best so that learning doesn't stops, learning goes on. Learning is unstoppable. It's because of only the education sector, the educationists, the administrators, and yes, the teachers. Hats off to them. So, teacher will be replaced by the teacher who is technology savvy. A story of human evolution tells that how we have adapted to survive extraordinary circumstances. Teachers have adapted to this. We all know how they have worked hard as soon as the lockdown was announced, converting from books to PDF, taking entire content from school to home, from offline to online, from green board to the computer screen. That was tough, but that was done by the teachers, by the mentors around the globe, but it was very tough to handle, but it was done by the teachers. Schools and teachers are implementing these technologies in the curriculum to provide students an extraordinary learning experience. They are they are doing their level best for this. This sudden switch is not only limited to private schools, but yes, the sudden switch has been shown their effect on the government schools also. This pandemic has taken a massive hit on the education sector. This has shown the massive hit on education sector. Uh, Although we all know that this massive hit is done in the other sectors of the world, but education sector had suffered a lot. Now it's time to reimagine and rethink education. Now teachers are adopting smart classrooms, and now this is the ideal time to accept technology and latest offerings of technology in order to make education delivery in the best possible way. And we all educators, administrators, and teachers are doing that. Whether it's the online classes or it's online activities, summer camps, winter camps, competitions, webinars, seminars on the time management, principals and teachers are talking to children, or they are talking to parents, doing parents forum, doing online PTMs. All these things are well planned and only done for the children so that learning is at a proper pace and that connect is not missed out. Because once the schools buildings are closed, I will not say schools are closed, but yes, the school buildings are closed, school is open and learning is going on. But the adoption of technology has taken teacher centric education to student centric education, and yes, the teacher centric education also. Earlier it was teacher centric education, but now it is teacher and student centric education, and this entire transformation has given rise to the new era of education. This will help countries digital learning infrastructure in a long run. And I would say that the teachers have developed love for the technology and they have come up from the fear of technology. This is a great job they had done. Now we will see why technology and apps is playing a crucial role in education sector. So why this is playing a crucial role in education sector, I would tell you the number one is that it is enhancing interaction. A student, a child who is studying in the classroom. Before the pandemic, he was shy. He or she was shy. He was hesitating. And now, after the pandemic, when there are online classes, when there are so many apps like Vedantu and Byju's, children are loving to speak about their careers. Children are loving to speak about their hobbies. They are coming in front of the screen. They are using the screen. In fact, nursery kids, apart from playing games, they are using a screen for their own benefit, for learning, muting themselves, unmuting themselves, watching teacher on the screen, playing activities, being the part of celebration. These all things. Why this interaction was possible? Only because of technology. Because technology has been, you can say, a friend of teacher these days when teacher has used the technology in a best possible way, and it has enhanced the interaction between the student and a teacher. Number two is both parent and teacher communication. I will tell you before pandemic what happened. It was like before pandemic, PTM was only done on few specified days, whether in 2 months once in a 2 months or in every month. But now, because of this technology, teacher can have a talk or parent can have a talk with the teacher anytime in their comfortable zone. So it is now not specified. They can have the video calls, they can make calls to the parents. Parent can make a call to the teacher and talk about the progress of the child. I know most of the parents in the small towns, they are not concerned for the studies of the child, but the parent who is more concerned, who is, who wants or who is having desire that their ward should come up with a great future, will be looking forward in this pandemic also, in this COVID time also. So they are having good interaction with the teacher with this online technology. As we people are having parents forum these days, talking to parents on the Zoom, on the video calls, and making sure that the child is not suffering in any of the way. Suppose if there are some loopholes, there are some points which need to be worked on, we are then and there talking to the parents, talking to the teachers, and working on that. So this is what the best way we can fill those gaps where the education can make its loophole if the gap is there. So we are filling those gaps. Number three is availability of online resources. This is very important. After the pandemic, we have explored a lot and we have come up about the huge variety of resources we are having for learning. Students are, now they are come up with so many ideas, with so many apps like Byju's and Vedantu and other different learning apps are there, by which the child can learn. So they are having so many things and they are getting access to the library of resources. They are getting access to so many things that they can learn from. They are having a lot of things on this platform of online learning. Number four is it provides entertainment. Apart from academics, apart from curriculum, it is providing it is providing entertainment to the child. So what happens, it is, apart from curriculum and academics, it is providing entertainment also. Number 5 is it promotes remote learning. Online learning has given the flexibility in time and place. And yes, this is as I can see for the studies, whether it doesn't matter whether you are in the town or out of the town, out of the station. But yes, um, during remote learning, during this online learning, the child, whenever he is whether he is in the vehicle or he is out of the town, he can have his or her studies, or his online classes or his examinations in a proper way. So number 5 is it offers personalization. So to cater the needs of every student as per the requirement, I would say, as per the requirement, it is doing a lot. This technology is doing a lot for the teacher. Number 7 is it is cost effective. It is not taking any cost, and it is free of cost. It is doing a lot, and it is cost effective. Number 8 is portability, and number 9, which is very very important point, is sustainability. So it is paperless learning. Why it is paperless learning? Because during online classes, we have seen that we are not using papers either for activities or for examinations, and we are doing our job well when we are considering this as a best possible way. I would tell you how Jaipuria is working on this, how they are working on this. Like Japuria is having a SPICE project these days. SPICE means S for sustainability, P for possibility, I for integrity, C for collaboration, and E for empathy. So this is how Jaipuria is working. Sustainability, this is then possibility. So suppose we have taken a single word and we have been doing this single word for 2 months, and this is how we are completing these 5 words in 10 months period of time. And meanwhile the child is learning through different activities and along with academics about sustainability, about possibility, about integrity, about collaboration, and about empathy also. This is how Jaipuria is being planned, and during these online classes and pandemic also, we are looking forward for the learning, for the moral values, for the etiquettes which we have been passing on to the kids. I will be sharing my experience for a very very effective activity, that was vocab parade. In our school, we were giving just one word um, each day, and child was supposed to dress up and take a get up of that particular word. Suppose the word was grocery, so he was about to have a dress up like that, and meanwhile the child was learning that particular word while he was learning about the different words. He was learning about the academics as well. Now I would tell you about a very important word, that is GST. GST is what? Good screen time. Good screen time is what? When parents were, sending children to school, they were learning for 6 hours. They were learning and spending their the entire time to school. But when it comes to the online education, when it comes to the education, when we are using a screen, we cannot give those 6 hours. In that case, we will only use only good screen time. That is what? GST. So this we have to keep in mind, that we will be using GST, and we will ask our parents that yes, GST is important. So this is how technology can never replace a teacher. But how this is possible, why this technology cannot replace a teacher? It's because that when the child is going to school, then that physical meeting, that physical attention, that is missing out, that hug and feel connect, that human connect, that socio connect, that is missing out. So although the teacher has fallen in love with the technology from the fear of technology, but then also they have worked a lot, they have explored a lot, they have used their skills to work for the sake of the child. We will see how there are few takeaways from 2020, how this is being done. This is how there are healthcare advancement, there are environmental recovery, decline in emissions. We have seen that environment has recovered after the lockdown was announced. So this is what environmental recovery was done. There were declines in the number of emissions. An education experiment was done. How it was done? It's because how it was done, it's like we have been experimenting so many activities, we have been experimenting a lot of things, and we are, whether we are using Zoom or whether we are using any other app, we are doing this through a lot of experiments. So this is what an education in experiment. We are changing our work routines, like okay, just a minute. So, what happened? Like we have been changing our work routines. So it doesn't matter that this is office timing or this is 8 o'clock. We need to go to the office. So we can manage our own routines. We can manage our own timing, and meanwhile we can do learning in a proper pace. Next is pushing the agenda for diversity and inclusion, business innovation. Next is a focus on well-being. That is very, very important. So this is how we can be focusing on our well-being. And yes, how we will be working on well-being? Like we are we can do relaxation, we can do we can do exercise, we can do meditation, and and like we are having a greater connection. We can do our personal development also. How this is done? We can spend time in our meditation, we can spend time in physical exercise, we can talk to ourselves, we can talk to you can talk to inner for the inner self, and we can work for the betterment of our child. So some people, they don't like change, but you need to embrace change. If the alternative is a disaster, you need to do this. This is not the year to get everything you want, but yes, this is the year to get everything you want. This is the year to appreciate what you have, to celebrate what you have. So this is the year to do that. I would be sharing a story with you all. Like there was a woodcutter, and he used to cut woods daily in the forest. So what he was doing, बहुत अच्छा किए, सब बंद हो गया, इतनी देर से खिड़की बजा
So, Ma'am Shikha will join us back in few minutes. Maybe because of some network issue again at her end. So, I think the topic that she is talking about is, yes, we have discussed about the technology to teachers to technology in last so many months, especially if we talk about 2020. So yes, we have come a long way, and there are few points, few questions that I would like to ask her. So we're just waiting for her to join back.
अब रहने दो तुम लोग.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was just sharing a story that was about a woodcutter, and that woodcutter, what he did, he was trying so hard. He was working day and night, and used to cut wood. Once, what happened? After a week, he joined that organization of cutting wood. Then a new employee was, hired there. The company hired a new employee. That new employee was also cutting the wood and was, even giving more productivity. So what happened? After a while, what happened? After few days, when he was producing more woods, the second one, this first man went to the company and asked that why you are doing increment of that second person. And this person was very annoyed, so he asked the organization that yes, I'm your old employee, I have been cutting woods daily, I have been working hard, but then also why his salary is greater than me? The company's head said that it will be good when you will go and you will ask to that person why he is working and why he is getting that much of increment. So so he was asked to like so what he did, he went to the second man and he asked that yes, why he is getting that much of increment. So the second man said, okay, he smiled and he asked that why don't you do one thing? Now tell me one thing, that is this a way that did you sharpen your eggs? You're working so hard and you're working day and night. Did you sharpen your eggs? You didn't did it. And what the first man answered to him that yes, I didn't had not sharpened my eggs. I have been working day and long, working day and night, and I was so busy in that I didn't sharpen my eggs. So the moral of the story, the lesson what we get from the story is yes, that we need to give time to ourselves. We need to give time to sharpen our eggs. We need to give time to sharpen our skills, to work on skills. Skills means to work on the loopholes. Skill means to work on the areas where it is supposed to, that every day we are, getting, we are waiting things to happen by its own, but it's not the way. So it's a good one that we are doing a job, that is fine, but yes, apart from this job we need to sharp our skills, and it is the best time that we are sitting here and we are doing, whether we are working from home or we have joined our organization, but then also we need to work well, we need to spend our time well with this thought that yes, we will be working on our skills. I would be sharing one more, an example, that once we are traveling on a bus and we are sitting at the back seat, what happens? We are experiencing more jerks. So, why this is happening? It's because we are far away from the driver. And so, same goes with our life as well. Our driver is our God. Our driver is our own creator. So, if we are so far away from our driver, from the creator, from the God, then we are uh, will be feeling more jerks, more problems. So the best possible way to believe in him, to work for him, and to do good deeds, to help others, and to fill our cup with honesty and integrity, love and affection, so that at the times of difficulties, at the time of diversity, we are coming out with confidence and courage. So this was all about how technology has come up, and teachers have taken this technology at their positive mode of way, and have given learning a new pace, a new energy, and made sure that learning is not unstoppable. It should goes on, and they have given their best possible way. Thank you, Miss Preena, for this. I have been explaining about the teaching and technology.
Right, ma'am. So, you covered a lot, many points. There are so many takeaways. From 2020, we have learned a lot. And these learnings are going to be with us forever, I think, forever. But there are certain things, like if you talk about the technology, classes were going on, teachers were teaching, schools buildings were closed, but the classes were on. But if we talk about that particular section of the society where students are not having the smartphones, if we talk about the facilities, they don't have that many facilities to use all these. Or if I talk about the special students, for that matter, I think it was a total shutdown for them.
Yeah.
Even the technology was there to help, but if I talk about the special students and for the students who do not have such facilities, how are we going to cover this gap? What do you think about this?
See, you were right that most of the children, most of the parents, they were not having smartphones. Even if they were having smartphones, they were not having that internet connectivity, because you people sitting at Lucknow and Delhi cannot imagine what is the phase of education going on in small towns. So yes, they are facing difficulty, whether there is about the resources or it's about the internet connectivity. So they are facing problems. So what we educators and teachers are planning, that yes, once this school will reopen, we have to pull up our socks for that first of all, and we need to work a lot for their benefit. How we will do, we need to, maybe we will be in need to conduct remedial classes. That is important, and we need to cover the syllabus or curriculum in a short way, what was being done in 2020. So we need to cover once again when the children will back from home to school after a year. So it's not that ki we have given that those online classes and covering all those curriculum and syllabus. So that doesn't needs to be done. In fact, parents are requesting these days. We had our PTM 2 days back. So they asked us, ki ma'am, once the school will reopen, please take those grammar portion once again, because children, that connect cannot be developed. As I've spoken in my session, that socio connect and human connect is missing. So without that, as you have said, that those who are not having resources, those disabled children, they are not able to do that. So this is what it is important for us to plan in a way that within that period of time, we will be managing the things.
Perfect, perfect. So I think yes, we all are hoping for the schools to reopen. As we all know, the vaccination launch is on. You can see on our news channels. Hoping for the best in 2021. So I think it was wonderful talking to you, Shikha ma'am. It was indeed very informative discussing these important points. Thank you so much for joining in for once again on this platform with Getty, and thanks to all the viewers for joining in. And yeah, challenges are what makes life interesting. I just came across this beautiful quote. Challenges are what make life interesting.
And I
Overcoming
also
them is what
experienced
makes.
the challenge, as you can see that today. It was
Yeah,
discharged, and so much. There are so many things we need to explore and learn a lot. This is
yes,
what I have experienced. This.
absolutely. It's all about keep going, keep moving.
Yeah,
At
absolutely,
times we are
completely.
in a position where we give up, on the edge of giving up, but no, we have to keep moving. And that's the learning, the biggest learning from 2020, I believe. So thank you so much, Ma'am Shikha, for joining us. Thanks again. And thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.